Hello everybody. Oh my gosh, it is so hot, and this is one reason why I have not been doing a lot of episodes, just because the garage, I have no way of cooling it other than maybe that little fan right there, and even then it's sweltering. You can probably see the perspiring down my head. Anyways, I just wanted to do a quick little video just to let you know that I am still alive and I am still trying to put out stuff, even if it's just mediocre things like this video. I am working on just maintenance for the 69 Ford F100. You can see here, I just changed the oil. Straightforward, most of you know how to change oil. I'm going to top up the coolant. I just replaced the fuel filter, and on this, if you're not aware, it doesn't have an inline fuel filter that you put in the fuel line anywhere. It's actually a cartridge type filter that goes just underneath the mechanical fuel pump. I am also changing the transmission gear oil. It's not the pink transmission fluid that you're used to for automatic transmissions, but for these older trucks, it's recommended to use a gear oil. I'm using a 80 weight gear oil. And some of the videos I've seen other people do, and an explanation of how to get transmission gear oil into the transmission, incorporated using a big long tube up in the engine compartment down into the fill hole, and I wasn't going to do that, even though that compartment's probably one of the cleanest engine compartments you'll know. Clean as in not a lot of stuff in your way. It is a dirty engine compartment, but you can easily reach things, and I can easily put a hose down through here and up and into the transmission, but I wasn't going to do that. And so I found this item at Harbor Freight. It's the Pittsburgh multi-use transfer pump. It looks like this. So you've got a hand pump on this end, and then you've got a siphon hose and a fill hose. And all you do is you stick one of those hoses into your jug of fluid, whether it's gear oil or anything else, and the other end into the fill hole, and you just start pumping away until you see gear oil come out, and then that's when you stop. It is not easy to get a fat man under a truck. I didn't want to lift or jack the truck up and put it on stands or anything like that, just because I typically like to do my fluids and everything like that with the vehicle flat. And I don't have 4 jack stands that would hold this truck up off the ground flat. So I'm trying to squeeze myself underneath my truck, which for a truck is kind of low. I haven't even lowered it yet. I have my gear oil right here, Master Pro gear oil, and up here, and I do not know if I'm framing this very well, is my transmission. So I've already cleaned up and drained the oil. This is the drain, and this is the fill. So there we go. Shove that tube in there, and then the other tube is in the top of the jug there. And if you look on this, I don't know if I can get it in focus enough, but one end says out and the other says in. The part by the pump handle is in, so the fluid's going to come down that tube into here, and it's coming out through that tube. So I've got that tube stuck in the transmission, this one in the oil. So let's see how that works. Oh, there we go. Is that the first of it? All right. Where did I put my plug? That's not it. Alright, I've got a stream coming down right now. Note to self, when you're a big guy, make sure you have everything with you so you're not having to crawl down and around back underneath a vehicle all over again. Come on. Here we go. Alright. I do have the wrench, which is a 5/8. Okay. Alright, it's all done. Woo. I think it still made it a little easier than having to run a tube, because I'd have to have some extra set of eyes down here to let me know when enough is enough. There we go, all done, all buttoned up. That is the fill hole and then the drain. And if you want to see something really scary, this is nothing. This pales in comparison to what happened up here where you've got that white powder, which is, by the way, stuff to help mop up the spilled oil. But I don't know if you can see, but up in there is the drain plug for the oil, which sits on that cross member back far, so that you can't get an oil pan underneath it. And it hits that and it spreads out all along that entire cross member, and then just, yeah, it caused a mess. All right, so I'm going to clean up and we'll talk a little bit about this transfer pump. All right, well, it worked really good. I mean, what can I say? The only factor for me is just getting up underneath the vehicle. The only thing that I wasn't careful about, and I'm kind of standing in it right now, is that there's residue grease, or in my case gear oil, that was inside the pump section, and as I pulled it out, it flung around the room as I was trying to empty it back, what was left in the pump back into my container. One end fell out and kind of flopped around on the floor, so I'm going to have to get some more of that compound to sprinkle on the floor and get all the grease and gear oil and everything up off of the floor. But maybe I'll show you a little bit about that later on. But as for that, that transfer pump from Harbor Freight was a pretty good deal. I mean, it was only $6 and something cents. Again, this is what you're going to look for. There we go. Or the multi-purpose, multi-use transfer pump, Pittsburgh. And that's what it looks like. I've got it laying down onto a rag so that it would capture that. Figure out some way to clean it out so I can maybe use other fluids and such with it. But for $6 and some odd cents, heck, I could go buy another one, have one labeled for different types, each one labeled for different types of fluid. That is, dare I say, a wrap for this episode of Digsy's Garage. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. Give me a thumbs up if you liked what I had to say. Thumbs down if you thought it was kind of silly and too much of my face on there, whatever. Give me a reason why you gave me a thumbs down, though. I'd like to know how I can improve these videos to better entertain and inform my viewers. So anyways, I gotta get cleaned up. Look at that. That's not even the worst of it. And get this truck started, get the oil circulating, and get ready for dinner. All right, anyways, until next time, keep on wrenching.